Hi Murray.
Hi Ash, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Good. Great Ash, okay, so I've come into Pronto. What's Pronto?
So Pronto is a peer-led HIV and STI testing service for members of the LGBTIQ community, run by the community.
Great. So if I wanted to come in here for a sexual health test and a HIV test, how would that actually happen?
Okay, so if you're not on PrEP, we can offer you rapid HIV testing.
Right.
This service is actually funded for rapid HIV testing and STI screening. So what we will do is we'll collect some blood from your arm, and the blood will cover syphilis and HIV because they're viral infections. And we'll do some throat swab, anal swab, and we'll get some first pass urine, and that will cover bacterial STIs such as chlamydia and gonorrhea.
Okay, and so if thinking about the people watching this and to get to Pronto in Collingwood is probably just a touch too far away, what would you say?
I say go to your local GP and explain to them that you're here for a full sexual health test, and make sure that they do a throat swab and a rectal swab, because most GPs out there don't actually do risk assessment, so therefore they would assume that you're heterosexual, and that is often the case. So those are the two important things that I would stress. Get the blood test, make sure the blood test includes HIV and syphilis, and get an oral or a throat swab, a rectal swab, and a first pass urine test, which will cover chlamydia and gonorrhea.
Great. And so if I wanted to get a HIV test, but it was just not a conversation I wanted to have with my country GP, is there another way without coming to Pronto that I can get that done? Can I get it sent in the mail and do it in the mail? I've heard about that. Can you do that or not?
There's a couple of complications around that, and that's usually because to have some form of rapport and access to a GP service where your blood has been collected, where you can go back to collect the result in case if it were to come back positive, is quite an important thing, because that's not information that we can relay over the phone or over the mail even. So therefore I would say shop around. I know it's quite tricky, but find a GP that you feel comfortable with and access your sexual health testing there.
And I guess, of course, if you really wanted to, how often should you get tested? Because it is something that if you weren't comfortable to speak with your GP about, or you didn't have any options to get on a train and come down to Collingwood, what would you say? Is it every 3 months? Is it every 6 months? Or what's the advice around that?
It depends. If you're in a monogamous relationship with someone, it's recommended you get a test once every 12 months. If you're sexually active, let's just say if you have anywhere more than 5 sexual partners in a month, I would say once every 3 months is what we recommend.
Great. And what kind of numbers are you seeing here at Pronto?
Currently, in terms of numbers, we've always had very regular clients walking through. I think it's quite well established in the queer community that people get tested once every 3 months, which is great.
Yeah.
The queer community is very on top of their sexual health. But in terms of other communities, so there's Melbourne Sexual Health,
Right.
that's still running.
Yeah.
And most other GPs are doing sexual health testing as well.
Fantastic. So we're going to wrap it up here, Ash. Is there any last minute sort of advice that you could offer to someone that was perhaps maybe living really far away from a metropolitan area and watching Pride Salvation tonight, that you could tell them that actually might be good advice?
Jump into a train and come and see us.
Oh, that's great. Thanks, Ash.